Alright traders, a few days ago I made a video, Aussie US dollar trade analysis. So I was talking about what the Aussie US dollar might do and what we could look for, and a couple trading opportunities that you should be seeking out. So what I'm going to do now is reverse and go back and look at that for a quick second, and then we'll come back forward and see where we are. Alright, so let's check it out. So that looks good, and it's moved. It gave it that divergence kicked in. So I think we're going to see the market move higher. All right, so with that said, I'm going to put a level here. All right, so we're really close to that fractal. And I'm going to put another level here. That one, I don't love that fractal either. Alright, so I'm not loving this fractal because we're right on that level almost. So we may not pull back that deep. So what I'm thinking is the market is going to drop. I was thinking that we might see this drop because you got resistance above us. You just got a TK crossover, and usually after a crossover the market starts to pull back. You got this cloud here, and you got a little bit of rejection here. And then after that, you probably see the Kijinsen Chiku span, which is going to have issues going through the cloud. When I look at this Chiku span, we have issues getting through the cloud with Chiku span. We just broke through Tenkan-sen and Kijinsen, but the market is rejecting this upper level of the cloud here. So I don't like that. I do like that actually, because I think we'll get the drop. So do we want to trade the drop and then catch the move to the upside? Let's go lower, see what we got going on. So what I would do here, basically, you broke a fractal here on the hourly. See if you break this fractal to the downside, because I want to get it tight because this trade doesn't have much room. So when I'm moving to this hourly time frame, if we close below this fractal, but see the strength is so strong, but you are flattening out here, so you can watch for the break here. See if you close below this fractal on the hourly, and then we could jump into this trade and then see what it does on the 4 hour, because I think the rejection, and you'll probably see it move down a little bit more, but then there's a chance that it doesn't close below this level. It doesn't go below this level and then continues to the upside. Looking at this, let's go back to daily. But I think I was thinking overall you may see the market move to the upside. So my thought was move to the downside and then break to the upside. Alright traders, so now we're going to look at this pair and see what happened since. So this is the candle that I was talking to you on, and pretty much it hadn't developed into this yet, but it was kind of easy to determine what we would see happen maybe. I mean, because we just based off of Ichimoku and seeing this a lot of times, we had the flat cloud here, then we had a big rejection. With the rejection, the market fell to the downside. Now we were looking for the market to come back to this level right here, but the market came back to the Kijinsen, which was flat. So at the time when we were talking about the market, Kijinsen was really right here. We didn't have a flat Kijinsen yet, but once you see that flat Kijinsen along with the bottom of the cloud here, that forms strong support. Alright, so that's strong support. This was strong resistance, but this was even stronger support because you had a flat Kijinsen and you had a flat Kijinsen and you had the cloud level below you. And then also you had the nice rejection on the bottom here, and then the market went higher. So at that point I was already telling you that we should probably look for the trade to the downside and then move to the upside, because I thought overall the market was going to move to the upside. And so we're on a daily time frame here. We look at that real quick. So looking at that quickly, we could see that basically this candle wasn't fully developed yet. So we were showing a little small candle here. The market tried to drop a little bit, and then now it looks like it's trying to take off again. So we would start to look where our levels are. So now we're going to look at this, guys, when we come back off of the weekend. We'll look at this on our Sunday night market open, and we'll have our live webinar. We'll be together and we'll be able to discuss this trade setup. So we're going to meet up and talk about this at 5 o'clock market open. We'll look at it and we'll discuss this. we'll look at the 4-hour time frame, because we look at that daily to decide basically where we're going to our bias and what we really want to trade. We want to understand what the daily told us. So looking at that, when we looked at the daily, the market had dropped at this point, so we really didn't know if this was going to be a continuation move to the downside or to the upside, you know, if it was going to bounce and go to the upside. Now I look at divergence to see if the market's getting weak, and I mean, it looks like the market and the oscillator are following each other, so you can't really tell much there. Are we going to even see this move higher? So if we do move higher, we first want to get through some levels. So we'll try to shoot through this level, at least get to this level, and then maybe we see if we could get to the top level here. So you pretty much got a zone where you're going to look to get through. But then if you get through that, we're going to use our Ichimoku observation levels, and we'll go from this point to this point and then here. So you have basically a 1, 2, 3. And so we'll draw that out at that point, and probably even go down to the 4-hour time frame and get it a little bit better, because yeah, we'll do this. We'll go to the 4-hour time frame and look at this, because if the market's going to move higher, I'm not sure if we're getting a little weak here, but if we're going to move higher, we want to look at the lower time frame first to start getting that target, and then we could figure out that daily time frame. We want to get past this level. We want to get through this zone here. So our 1-to-1 ratio and Ichimoku values are going to give us inside that zone pretty much. So we would probably trade up to that point. Now if we don't get through this level, so you can see where our levels are here. These are our Ichimoku value numbers. Let me draw this out here. You got a 1, a 2, and a 3. So we don't know where 4 is, but we're thinking 4 is up in this area somewhere. Alright, so with that 1, 2, 3, 4, we're looking to see if price could get up in that area. But when you're looking at the 1, 2, 3, to look for 4, you always have to get through 2. So if we can't get through 2, we know we're not going to get to 4. And so we may see the market come to that point and then fail, and then we'll see the downside move. But if not, then we're going to see maybe the market reaches up to its level here in this area. Then it gets to pull back and then maybe continues that way. We don't know what the market's going to do. We just trade what we see. We let the market talk to us, and we trade what the market tells us. All right, so we'll look at this Sunday market open. So we'll hold our webinar, our weekly webinar on Sunday, which we have every Sunday at 5 p.m. market open. Definitely not 5 a.m., not for me anyway. But at 5 p.m. we'll hold our webinar, so you can meet up in the chat room and get the link for the webinar, or you could go to the forum and get the link, and I'll also send it out to members via member notification. All right, guys. So hopefully this helps you guys out, and still I think we still have a good opportunity to trade this Australian dollar, US dollar. All right, guys. Have a great one. Till next time. God bless. So long.